Well, what the heck is going on, you might be asking yourself. Where's the intro? What is going on? So, the episode that we had filmed for you, unfortunately, the file was corrupt. And at this very late stage, we didn't have time to film another episode. But I have some found footage that I wanted to show you. This is not a complete blob piece, but if you do stick around until towards the end, I will show you the finished article. But this is a ombre, black to light grey blob that I did a little while ago. That is a painted black base that's been covered with just clear resin. Beautiful resin job there, if I do say so myself. And then in this bottle here, this is also black. So those black blobs on that black resin base, I always think look awesome. The mixture here for this blob, because this is Liquitex Basics acrylic paint, is 50% Mod Podge, and that's the red label, the gloss luster. It's 25% paint and 25% Liquitex gloss varnish, which is the orange label. For some reason, when I squeezed this last blob out, there was a little bit of splatterage. That's what I was just cleaning up there. And now I'm torching the bubbles from the blobs as well. So that's our recipe for Liquitex Basics, anything that you would consider a level 2. 50% Mod Podge, 25% paint, 25% Liquitex gloss varnish, and that will give you a consistency that will allow you to blob with some 3 dimension to it and a really good consistency for blobbing. Don't forget to torch, and I will give you some more hints and tips as we go through this episode. As I finish off this layer here, I'm gonna switch to just 24 hours later. So everyone always says to me, how long do you need to leave these to dry? Well, anything that is about a 3-inch diameter blob will only take 24 hours to dry. Now, because this was black on a black base, there's not gonna be a huge amount of difference here, other than I did forget to press record as I started to film my second layer. So this bottle now contains black with white mixed to it, and I'm ombreing all the way through till kind of a light grey, which you'll see in the finished piece at the very end. So all I'm doing here is torching the bubbles of the blobs as I've layered my second layer. People always say to me, how do you know when to stop? It really is just about practice. I've blobbed now maybe 10 or 15 different pieces, a couple of commissions, and done big pieces and small pieces. So I kind of know now just how much the paint will spread once I've finished piping it from my bottles. And you know, this is, I think, a really good example of big blobs and little blobs, and kind of just using the sizes of the blobs to help you get something interesting on the canvas. But I'm going to continue doing this second layer, and then we'll come back and talk as I do the third. about to go into the third layer, which is another 24 hours later. So now this is black mixed with more white, and this will give me now kind of the gradient which you'll see, which I was going for in this awesome piece. I really do love this kind of monochromatic color scheme, played around with it with different colors and always really enjoy it. So I'm just about to go and start another piece actually, and we'll do something similar, but actually going to change up the composition completely. I'm excited to show you that next piece. So some hints and tips for you. Before you squeeze any paint out onto your blobs, always squeeze a little bit out of the tube onto a paper towel, which you'll see at the top of the screen there. That's because the consistency in the nozzle is always different than the consistency in the bottle, and you do want to try and get rid of that. Also does help with bubbles as well, but for some reason these paints were all super bubbly, so you'll see me constantly popping the bubbles with the torch. I always pop with the torch. You can absolutely do that even though there's varnish in this recipe, so don't worry about popping with torches. You don't have to do it with a skewer, otherwise you would be there forever. And as I say, 24 hours between each blob is all you do really need. Yeah, I've always really enjoyed the blobbing. I'm definitely obsessed still with this technique. There's a lot more that I want to do with it. I've done some landscapes and some different kind of compositions, some really fun stuff that's going to be coming up on the channel real soon. But please give this a go, because it's not as hard as it appears. And if you do mess up, you can absolutely fix your blobs. All you do is take a Q-tip and just wipe off the paint from the top layer. That's all you really need to do. You've seen me do that before. If you'd like to see some more blobs, please go check out the channel. There's tons of them on there, different color schemes, different compositions, and I always give out the recipe in every single episode. So please go check out those episodes too. This is a fun little blob for you. I hope you enjoy this one. Stick around because I've got the dry results and it was framed also. So here's the end of the third layer. For some reason I didn't capture the fourth, which is probably the reason why you've not seen this footage before. But as you can see there, 4 layers of blob on this square canvas, and I did actually frame it as well in a black floating frame. It was sold at the Seattle Fluid Art Experience. And I really love this piece. It was simple, it was kind of classy and elegant, but it was a really, really fun blob, and those blobs came out perfectly. There's a couple of bubbles in some of these blobs, which I absolutely don't mind. You know, you can see the texture here on the side of them, as well as the height of them. Yeah, really fun blob. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another episode. So now it's time to spank the Patreons.
It is time to spank the Patreons.
And who are the Patreons? Well, they're a really special bunch of people.
Yes.
Who've decided to come and follow us outside of the YouTube channel. It's a completely separate account, and people can opt into different tiers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those different tiers allow people different rewards. So, for example, at one level, there's behind the scenes pictures and videos and sneak peeks of what we do in the studio. And then at another level, there is a once a month live stream exclusively just for those gold level Patreons. And then at another level, they also get a once a month live tutorial.
Yes.
Where we might take an individual technique and walk through it step by step by step by step. So we really appreciate these guys because they're coming to us and supporting us outside of the channel. It means an awful lot to us.
It does mean a lot to us.
So we have some thank yous. And at that gold level, we have Trisha West, we have Terry Leshner, we have Tammy Housebrook, we have Stephanie Hancock, we've got Sharon Luffy, the wonderful Pocket Rocket Patsy Petrelli. We've got Nate Bright Art. We've got Mamadoulis. We have Linda Serieni. We've got Kelly Stowell of Feral Arts.
Yeah.
We've got Jane Klein and Gloria Salaki. We have Gillian Kennedy
Yes.
of Bell's Creations. We have Elizabeth Giuliano. We have Kathy J. And we have Amy, aka Crafty Chicken Mom.
Yes.
And
then on our platinum level, we have Susan Shepperson, Susan Chigori, Judith Jones Art, we have Janice Pittman, and we have Elaine Burton.
oh my gosh, we all know and love and has been with us pretty much from day one.
Yes.
As most of you have. So thank you so very much for being with us.
Yes.
We really genuinely do appreciate you and your support. It allows us the opportunity to keep painting and keep doing fun stuff for you guys. So thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
And to everyone else that's down here below, we honestly can't thank you enough. It really does mean the world to us. So thanks, guys.